Yeah.
Okay.
So, oh, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you too. So
So,
I have one question. The
yes.
some of the SE stuff I saw, they put like a time limit on it. Is that what we're gonna do, or is it like something different? Or
Right. So the time limit there is because people have a hard time to keep in focus for a long time. So we had the time limit. So it's like a recommended amount of time you do the conversation.
okay, cool. All
Hmm.
right. So shoot.
Oh, you wanna start it with a self-introduction because this is gonna be on our channel. So I want maybe some of my viewer will find you interesting and maybe they will go to your channel and or something.
Oh, okay, sure. On so my YouTube channel is Daily Christian Geekery, and I mainly call it that because I'm a geek, but I'm also a Christian. So I'm mainly just doing videos about what's. Sorry, hold on, kitty. Go
Uh,
back. I'm mainly just doing videos about how far I understand Christianity, what I think Christianity is about, uh, just things like that. So it's not like official Christianity. It's just how much I understand, things I'm thinking about. I'm trying to open a discourse, sort of, um, to stop it, kitty, to just have some conversation because
mm,
basically I don't want to stay in a bubble, and that's what I sort of liked about the SE stuff I saw was like, yeah, these are pretty good questions. Some of them I've been asked before, like I said in my video, and some of them I have not been. So I was like,
I see.
okay. So I enjoy that. So
Mm,
that's just what I'm doing.
I see. So how is my voice? Is it too noisy because there's a server right behind me?
Oh no, you're good.
Okay, so let's start.
Okay.
So I know you're a Christian. So how from 0 to 100, how much percent do you think Christianity is true?
So 100.
Okay. So and how? Let me just write that down.
Okay.
Okay. So what would be the most compelling evidence or the most important reason for you to determine that to get to 100?
Okay. So for me, it is a mix of experience and just faith. It is because I've had the experiences that I've had in my life, and then there's things that I can't prove in Christianity,
Mm.
but I believe it's true because for me, I see evidence of it. So based on experiences.
So you mentioned there's experience, there's faith, and there's evidence from that's like from other people. You see things in other people. Is that correct?
I see things other people have interacted with me in the Christian
Mm.
way. I started applying Christianity and it worked. I started doing research on the scientific level as far as science has started doing some research on prayer. They started doing some
Mm.
research, like how the brain reacts to prayer. They started doing some research on what it is, why it is most of the world seems to need religion. Not just like Christianity, but just like religion in general. What seems
I
to be a
see.
catalyst for that? Why do we seem to be made for that? That sort of thing. So there's not a lot of it out there, but what I have found, I've tried to, read and kind of understand what they are doing.
Let's see. What would be the most important thing if you have to choose between your personal experience, the evidence you see in the world, and the faith you have?
So I would say that probably right now, the person I am now, would probably be my faith is most important. But do you mean like in making a decision, or just like
In
trying to figure
getting
things
to
out?
the 100%, like without it, you wouldn't be able to have that 100. Maybe it's 98, 99,
Yeah.
or like the thing that would, I guess, reduce the most percentage out of that 100%.
So probably I don't know. It's kind of a mix. Like a lot of my beliefs, I can point to science, either social, psychological, or other
I see.
things to sort of back it up. So it's like the faith part is that Jesus is God and he rose on the third day and he died for us. Like the reason behind all of that supernatural stuff, a lot of that is just faith. So it's kind of a mix. I look at it from 3 different angles usually. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, let me think. So basically, there's a God, or we need religion from all the social science and psychology and stuff. But to reach the point, Christian is a true religion, you have faith. Would that be correct?
Yeah, because according to some of the science that I've looked at and read, it shows like there's something going on in our brains. There's something going on, no matter what religion you have, there's something going on in our brains that makes life, for some reason it makes life easier to live. It increases our dopamine gets released. So when we're going through a religious thing, there's dopamine release. So to me, I'm looking at that going, well, why would that be? Whenever I was first trying to figure this out, like when I was an atheist, I would look at that and go, well, why would that be? If there's nothing, then why would that be? So that's kind of one of the many things that got me started down this road.
I see. Yeah, I guess I should read more literature on that. I don't have a lot. I haven't read a lot on that. So let's go to the faith part.
Okay.
So how do you define faith?
So, as like I said in my video, faith to me, there's like this Bible answer, but then there's also sort of an answer that this is how I understand faith, and how I understand faith is believing in something that has some evidence, even if you can't see it. So, like, the example I usually use is, I cannot remember the scientist's name for the life of me, and I was going to look it up and I forgot. But the guy who figured out germs, he could not see the germs, but he saw all the effects of them until, he figured out how to look for them. He used his apparatus. So I was like, okay, well, I'm seeing effects, so it's possible something's there. So that's faith to me. I see evidence of something, even if I can't see it, then it's possible that it's there. And to me, it's Jesus, so.
Okay. So there's 2 directions I would like to go, but I'm just deciding which one. Let's see. Who is that guy? Louis Pasteur?
I think it is. Like I said, I meant to look him up and then I got busy. So it's just... Okay,
let me first repeat just how I understand what you just said, because I don't want to misunderstand you.
Okay.
So you are saying we cannot directly observe God, but we can see the effects of God in our lives. So we can say, okay, there is God. Is that what you're trying to say?
Because, like, I can't see God. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't go to heaven and see God. For me, when I got to the point, okay, I'm going to believe in a religion, it was like, okay, so which one's right? And so I looked for the evidence of what did I see? What is this? What are religious? What are the foundations of each one? Which one seems to create a better atmosphere? Like the West is kind of built on Christian ideas. The East is kind of built on several different, but like basically the sort of mysticism and ancestor worship and things like that. What kind of societies does this create as far as level of freedom, level of personal choice, that sort of thing? So I was kind of looking at that, trying to figure it out. But no, I don't believe you can see a physical God right now.
I see. So basically, you're saying the Christianity has the most effect on this world. Therefore, you think Christianity is most likely to be the right religion. Is that?
From what I've seen is that Christianity creates, if you use the basics of Christianity as a basis, then it creates the best, oh gosh, I just used the word now, I forgot it. Dang it. It creates the best system for people.
Christianity creates the best system for people.
Yeah.
I see.
So it just seems to me that way. Like in India, you have the caste system. That's not good. In
I see.
some of the other Asian areas, you've got either atheism. There's a lot of atheism, or there's a lot of just
in China, because I'm from China.
Okay. Is it that way? It just seems that way to me. I've never visited or really talked to anybody, so.
So in China, funnily, Christians are growing.
Yeah, I have read that. Yeah. But it seems like mostly what the systems in China are based on are either ancestor worship or atheism, and there are inherent problems in each of those governments that you can see through history. I
see. So there's a problem with atheism as well.
Well, I think there's a problem with everything but Christianity. I think each thing is a step. Atheism is a step. Like I wasn't immediately a Christian. I was a witch first, and that was a step. And a witch, by that I mean like a pagan, like I cast spells stuff.
Like a Wiccan?
Yeah.
Each system is like a step towards this Christianity. Okay, I see. So, can you imagine a world in which Christianity is not the best system?
Can I imagine a world was like, yes.
How would it look like?
It would look like when the Catholic Church took over and it was the only church, and it went to the Christian, it took it to extremes, which you're not supposed to do. It was actually against Christianity. So it was like a basis of Christianity that they used to basically enslave people. So yeah, it wasn't the best there. They used a basis and then took these bases and took people and said, well, you can't have the Bible. You couldn't possibly even understand it even if you could, and all this other stuff. So it's like, okay, they took these and did it wrong, you know?
So if you lived in a time where Catholic Church was in power, let's say you live in the
back way when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you still be able to decide, okay, Christianity is the best one?
I think that I would, because you can see the difference between, I think once I got a hold of a Bible I could. I think not just looking at like the Catholicism of the time, I couldn't. But if I got a hold of a Bible and I started reading it, I would be like, oh. Because the Great Reformation happened, the reason why is because people started getting Bibles. Priests started to be like, no, you need to be able to read and know the truth for yourself. So if I have my own Bible and can read, oh, so these priests I don't have to go to, this money I don't have to give, all this other stuff, just this all of this is corruption.
I see.
Yeah. So.
So, okay, so this question is gonna sound familiar. I think you answered it in your previous video.
Okay.
So if you have only read a holy book from another religion and you are like, will you be convinced that is a true religion? And you see its effect, at least in the people around you, it make them happy because earlier you said there's like science and other things and psychology, and that shows like prayer and other things will make people happier.
Right.
So you would expect to see those effects in other religions.
Right.
And if you're raised in that kind of environment, would you conclude another religion is a true one?
Well, I would say that like I did before, and before in my
Mm,
life, I did do that. I
mm,
thought Wicca was the answer.
mm,
So I would say yes, because I didn't know anything. I didn't know God. I didn't know the Bible. I had examples of Christianity that was terrible. So it was like, no, I don't want that. And
mm,
I rejected it as anything good at all. So I would say that the biggest problem with any religion, as far as someone going to it, is you got to get into what that religion actually believes versus looking at the people. People of all across the board, it doesn't even matter what religion it is, people will do it wrong or they'll have something wrong. Like, one of the reasons I stopped being an atheist is because there seemed to be so much negativity. Like, even as an atheist, I was open to talking to people. Like, let's just talk and figure out, what do you believe? Why do you believe that way? What makes you think that way? But when I would hang out with my friends who were atheists, it was just like, everybody's just stupid. We're the only smart ones. I'm like, that's not really true. There are a lot of people who have faith that are smarter than we are. And it really turned me off. And like, whenever I do these videos, a lot of atheists come back and they're like saying to me, well, you need to go see a psychiatrist and all this other stuff. Is like, well, to me that says you're not really open to discussion. You're just trying to tell me, off or something. I don't know. Like, I don't see how that opens a discussion. I don't see how that brings somebody to be thoughtful. You see what I'm
mm,
saying?
mm.
So it's
Yeah,
like, but they're doing it wrong. Like, you were sitting here,
mm,
you're very respectful. Paul that I saw was very respectful, when he was talking to people. So people can mess a system up very easily. So I hope that answered your question.
mm. I see. I'm not supposed to share my own opinion
Okay.
on things, but I'm going to make
Okay.
an exception. I totally agree with what you just said.
Okay.
uh, and anyway, let's go back to Christianity. Okay. So you say people can make mistakes in those religions. Right. And do you think there's a possibility that you haven't seen the right religion yet? You haven't seen the
like like I've read about or experienced all of them. So it's like I said, I'm 100% sure about this one. So if I would have been, if I thought that it was possible that I could have done something else, and I couldn't be 100%. So, this is it. This is what I believe.
I see. Let me just write that down.
Okay.
And the answer is so earlier you said you have to get to how do I say this? The actual belief of a religion to tell it whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Oh, I was saying you got to get down to its central tenets, basically.
Okay, let me revise that.
Okay.
You have to get to the central tenets. Okay. Is it possible that there are religions you haven't educated yourself in, you haven't learned about, because there's a lot of religions in this world? That will be one thing. And is it? Actually, I'll do one question at a time.
Okay. So if a new one pops up, then I wouldn't know about that one. So with that possibility in mind, sure.
Okay. So if a new one pops up, you check it out, and it's possible it will be the right religion, you are saying?
No, here's okay, so new ones have popped up, and most of the time they're based on two things. They're based on a man who has a vision or something, and so I'm like, no, that's no, because that's based on people. Or it's loosely based on Asian religion. Well, usually it is. Like, I use Asian as like a blanket, like, term, but it's usually some form of ancestor worship, or it's some form of just, we are the universe, which is what you find in India a lot of time. So it's usually one of those. It's either that sort of from that area, or it's here, hey, worship me, and that turns into a cult. So no.
Oh, I see. I see. So what are you saying when you say if a new one pops up and you say you would have a look?
I would look at it to educate myself, yeah.
Okay, so I see. Let me check some time.
Okay.
So, I'm actually not sure where to go from here.
Okay.
Because you said it's not possible for other religion to be
the correct
for other religion to be the correct one.
Right. But I think that a person should always educate themselves about what's out there in the world. So you shouldn't like I won't, if I go educate myself, that doesn't mean I'm gonna go start believing in this thing. It just means I'm learning. I've already gone through, people typically go through an era in their lives called the search. I call it the searching time frame, where you're trying to figure out what's true, what do I believe, or why do I believe it this way. So for me, I've gone through that, and Christianity is where I've landed, I've stayed. To me, it's proven itself over and over and over again through multiple different ways. So this is where I'm staying. I don't want to be ignorant, though, about what's out there. I want to know. I want to be an educated person. I don't just want to be somebody who sits in their house and only knows about one thing. I'm a curious person. I like to be educated. I enjoy learning. So that's why I would do that. I mean, that's just how I am.
I see. What do you think, what would you say is the most important reason that you would like to keep learning, to not be ignorant? I'm trying to boil it down to like the reason. Okay, so first reason, basically I was raised that way. No, really first reason, I've always been curious. I've always wanted to know why something was that way, where something came from, what kind of person is this. Two, my parents encouraged that instead of discouraging it. So it was always, well, I don't know, but let's go find a book on it. Or I don't know, let's go see if somebody else knows. Or if they knew, they would just tell me. My dad and I would sit and have regular talks about, this is kind of the way the world is here, but if I go somewhere else, that's not the way the world is. You see what I'm saying? Because he was military, so he had lots of travel, and he knew about that kind of stuff, and then he would teach us. So I think it's just who I am. I've always been curious about things, and then it was encouraged by both my parents, and they were very open about talking about the realities of life. They didn't really sugarcoat anything. Stuff about even like Turkey, where in Turkey, you can sell your wife, she can do your jail time for you. I've known that for a while because my dad taught me, because I was curious, what's Turkey like? You say it's not like here, so how is it? So then I would ask, of course, about, well, why would they do that? And he said, well, because they don't believe the same thing
we do. And what he meant by that was they don't have American values as far as equality and all this other stuff. He didn't really mean religion. So I didn't really make those connections until later. But, and then like the third basic thing is inside the tenets of Christianity is you're supposed to know what it is you believe and why. You're not supposed to just go around and be, I just believe because I just believe. So to me, that speaks to me at that level as far as, just you're supposed to be educated. You're not supposed to be stupid. You're supposed to be people who go out and test things. You're not supposed to just, accept it for just what it is. Just test it, A lot of Christianity says make your own choice. Christianity says, don't be too far Christian, don't be too far evil, just stay in this, except for your belief in him, you're supposed to have like this balance in life, which also a lot of religions also say, and also, science as far as psychology and sociology also says. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So I think that's the three things basically. I think I'm just naturally that way. My parents encouraged it, and then once I got into reading Christianity, it says, it even says, that's what you're supposed to do. So I was like, well, that works for me.
I see. Looks like we're back to this point that Christianity had a lot of influence on the Western society to today's our values and things, and they have and these values have yielded very good results in the real world. And so,
okay.
Is that the point you're trying to make?
I believe all I was trying to say there was that I believe that it did do that. I'm reading. I'm trying to educate myself now on how much Christianity had an influence on the tenets of America. And so far, what I'm finding when you read stuff by the founding fathers, who created, how we're supposed to do things, their belief was that Christianity was the best formula to use. And Benjamin Franklin even was not even a believer. Like I think he was just like a deist. He didn't really believe in any specific God. He just believed that there's probably something there. So even he was like, I'm a Christian in the only sense that it meant, this is what he believed. He believed that he's a Christian in the only sense that it meant in that he follows the tenets of Jesus Christ. So even somebody who's like, I don't really believe any of the supernatural stuff around Christ, they believe that the tenets around Christ and inside Christianity and the mercy and all this other stuff was the best. And I'm reading another one. I think it's Thomas Paine, but I'm not sure. Where he's talking about how we developed our court system, and he said that the best way to develop our court system is the one found in the Old Testament, is developed by the Bible. So I'm not saying that this stuff wasn't abused or isn't still abused today, but
I should really read more on that because I don't know anything. But okay. I heard some words about it. I actually don't have a lot of knowledge in it. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me just ask maybe one last question because I think we've talked for a while.
Okay.
So if Christianity, let's say, if Christianity has some bad influence in the world, would that be like a will that influence your confidence level in whether it's 100% true or maybe 98% true, 99% true? Will that affect your confidence level?
Okay, so no, and why
No?
is because, okay, so Christianity has already had, like, negative influences on the
Ah,
world. But when you look at why that is, it's because of the people involved. You can look at what they did and go, okay, so the Bible here, here, and here says not to do that. So they weren't following it. They're taking, like, this much of it and saying, okay, we're going to follow this, and just forget about the rest of it. And to me, when I look at that, it would be like somebody's saying, well, somebody believe in ancestor worship, but they only believe in it so long as grandpa, okay, so I'm messing this up, but this is how often askew I think it is. Okay, they only believe in it if grandpa gives them a gift every time they burn the incense for him. So that's not how that really works. That's not what people, if you believe that your ancestors are watching over you, that's not why you believe that. See what I'm saying? You don't do it because, oh, if I pray to this one of my ancestors, he's going to give me a gift. It's because,
it's the practicality.
right, you believe in it because you believe knowledge. You believe that this person's going to watch over you. You believe that they are looking down from whatever form of heaven that is to help you live a better life. In India, there's this weird one where it's like ancestor worship, but then also the caste system. So they help you, instead of coming back as like a worm, they help you come back as a cow or something. Not a cow, but something that isn't a worm. You see what I mean? Something further up the universal
The reincarnation
scale.
thing?
Huh?
The reincarnation thing.
Yeah, their reincarnation. There's a type where it's like, well, we believe that our ancestors help us get up the reincarnation scale because they love us. So you have to treat each other right so that you can help each other in the universe. So somebody took that and was like, well, I'm only going to pray to one, and because that one is going to help me. That's not the religion. So that's people messing it up. So that's why. You see what I'm saying? Like, people can take the most beautiful thing, and like someone helping someone else, and murder someone with it. So and like pedophiles do that all the time. If you love your sister, don't say anything, or I'm gonna, you see what I'm saying? That's what people do. People take beautiful things and they can destroy them. So that's why it's more like, let's look at just what the tenets of this thing are, what is actually believed, that sort of thing, versus the way these people do with it.
I see. Okay. Well, I guess that will be the end of our conversation. Okay. Because I don't know where to go, and it's getting a bit long, and I think I was kind of redundant over there because I think you talked a bit about that earlier already. You talked about how other religion was practiced in other countries and how those values had bad results, and I wasn't thinking that, so okay. I guess yeah. Okay. Well, I think I've learned a lot from our conversation, so thank you.
Thank you. And so I guess I will talk to you later. Maybe if you want to do it again, I'd be up for it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sure. So I hope I recorded this right. But either way, I'll look forward to seeing it on your YouTube channel.
And okay. Yeah. That's good enough. And if anyone's watching me, I don't know. I know not a lot of people watch me, but if you're interested in her, go check her out.
Thank you. Check him out too. All right. You have a good day, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye.